Hey guys, how you doing? This is KevTech here, bringing you another video on information technology. I know it's been a while. I upgraded my camera and I've been fairly busy, but today I'm going to make a video, and the video that I'm going to make today is common issues you would deal with on a IT environment doing level 1 support, doing desktop support, technical support, IT support, IT support engineer, anything that has to do with level 1. So stay tuned for that video, and welcome back to my channel, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Alright, let's see if I still have it when it comes to making videos. So, I'm going to talk about common IT issues and IT support, desktop support. So, for today, we're going to see some issues, some common issues. So, one issue you'll commonly have would be Outlook's not getting emails or receiving emails. So, the first thing you want to know is if he or she updated her password recently. Because sometimes, your passwords are good for depending on the company you work for, it's good for about 3 months, most cases. So you want to make sure that they update their password going into, for example, if they go into an iPhone, you will go into settings, scroll all the way down to accounts and passwords if it's the latest iOS, and then go into the email, work email, double click on the work email or click on it one time, then go to account settings and then update the password, and if it's like an Outlook account or it's just a regular, like the regular account that you use for Outlook, like the regular email client for Apple, then you would go in there, you would update your password, make sure you put the domain, whatever the domain is for your company, and then hit save, and then you should start receiving emails after that. But if you don't get emails after that, then your password is either expired, or you're probably locked out of AD, Active Directory, or something keeps locking you out. Sometimes we have multiple devices like an iPad, an iPhone, a laptop, and they're all connected to the network. And sometimes one of those devices that are connected to the network possibly is locking you out because it's still using your old password. So this is like common issues you would see on the phone itself. And then you have other issues like Outlook. Outlook will keep prompting you to change your password. You keep trying to change it, and then it pops up again saying your username and domain. It pops up again, and it keeps doing that over and over again. It's because your password is expired, or you need to update your password. Sometimes if you work in an environment with VPN, it hasn't updated on VPN yet. So sometimes you have to check those things. You also have to check if it's in Credentials Manager, which is really a pain sometimes. You would have issues with Credentials Manager. So, for example, I'll show you that right now because I'm on Windows 10. It should be something called Credentials Manager. So, sometimes you have these issues where Windows will store your passwords here. It's really... sometimes it does that. So when it restores your password, it messes with your account. So if you have a Windows 7 or 10 machine, it usually messes with your account. So just make sure that their old password is not cached anywhere on the computer or anywhere on any of their devices. So yeah, that's how you would fix it. And sometimes, worst comes to worst, you would recreate the user profile because it just doesn't work. And that obviously, if you recreate a user profile, the quickest way to do that is if you go to the start menu, you go to control panel, you change the category to large icons, you go to mail, open up mail, and then you create add and create a new profile. You call it like test, click OK, hit OK, and then click the profile that you're trying to use. And then after that, you should be good after that. And obviously, since you're creating a new profile, it will upload their emails for the first time. So don't be scared if their profile is has no emails. Obviously, it takes time. It updates your emails, update your calendar invites, update your address book. Everything is updated again. So that would be some of the issues you would commonly see if you're doing like level 1 support. Another issue you would commonly see, which is the I guess like the PC tech or the desktop support ones that you will commonly see, is this one, which is my mouse and keyboard are not working. So let's check the physical cable first. That's like the really basic thing, is check the cable. Plug it into a different port. Maybe the port is bad, or maybe it's just not accepting the drivers on that port. Actually, you have to wait sometimes, because if it's a Bloomberg keyboard, you have to download drivers, and it downloads it on the back end, on the background. So sometimes you would get like over here on the right hand side, you would get it's like downloading drivers right now. So that's like something you should check out for. If it's doing it, just leave it alone. It should download the mouse and keyboard. Last resort would be, obviously just giving them a new keyboard, because the one that they have is not taking it in any port. Sometimes restarting the computer will fix that problem. Another time would be like going into Device Manager and actually removing the device. If it's like an HP mouse or what have you, you go here and you remove it, or you go to devices and printers and see if it's actually physically installed in the control panel, and see if it's installed. I have a mouse here that's installed. You can just right click and remove the device, and that's pretty much what you would do if you're having that weird issue. Another issue would be the website is not working. Like, there's a website not working. So like, ask them to check the website on their phone, and if it works on their phone, then we know that it's a proxy issue, or it's a firewall block that we're doing on our end. So you wanna make sure that basically it's not being blocked by us first. If it works on our end, then obviously they're not gonna complain about anything. But if it's being blocked, then it's probably like a signature error, a certificate error. Maybe you gotta add the device to trusted zones, for example. I'll show you right now what I'm talking about. You would go to the gear on the top right hand side, Internet Options, and Trusted Sites. Click Sites, and then you would add the site to this. So like, if you work for a hedge fund, you need to add the site here, so the site is trusted, so you could connect to that website. Sometimes it would be like you're using like firewall, or you're using a Barracuda. Barracuda blocks websites, so maybe the website is being blocked by one of your firewall applications and stuff like that. So make an exception for it. Obviously, you need the proper approval for that. So you get manager approval or higher, VP approval higher, and then once you get the approval, then if it works, it works. Sometimes it doesn't work if you have cookies and cache store on the computer. So you might want to delete your cookies and cache, and that usually solves the problem. So that would be something you want to try first before doing it. Because if it works for your computer and it doesn't work for them, then there's something wrong with their physical computer. So we could delete browser history, cookies and cache, and we could reset IE if it doesn't work. Because some of these websites require IE because of Silverlight or because of Java or some other stuff. So you want to just reset IE to its physical settings or default settings. And if it works on Chrome, obviously, then you would do the same thing on Chrome. So you just hit the 3 tabs, you go to history again, then clear browser history. If it works on IE, but it doesn't work on Chrome, then you want to clear cookies and cache on Chrome. If it still doesn't work, then you go and hit About Chrome and check for updates. Maybe it's out of date or something, and maybe the version you have is out of date and it's not working with the website. So there's a couple of things you could check before you're doing this is how you troubleshoot if you're having all these weird issues. Another issue would be, oh, my internet is not working. Why is my internet not working? I can't get online. The agony, I can't get online. So this one is nothing. It could be something network related. Usually it's because there's like a firewall or network change was done on the weekend, or sometimes it's not even like this is like the most simplest thing. And maybe the internet cable is now plugged in the back of the PC. So before you do anything, check to see if the internet is plugged in. Check to see if you see an amber and green light on the back of the computer. If you see that and it can't connect to anything, then there's something wrong with their computer. You don't want to reboot first. These are the common things you would do if you're having that weird issue. So the first thing you would do is you go to CMD, open up the command line, check and type IP config. You have an IP address. You have no IP address. Well, then there's something wrong with the computer. So do IP config, IP config flush DNS. Maybe you have to flush DNS, or IP config renew or release, etc., etc. If that doesn't work, then it could be a couple of issues. It could be maybe an Active Directory. Maybe you ran out of IP addresses and you need to add another IP address, and the user is no longer, the computer is no longer taking an IP address. So sometimes you might need to check Active Directory and see if there's any more IP addresses. Maybe you ran out of IP addresses. That could be it. Sometimes worst case scenario, you might have to reboot because maybe it lost connection to DNS, so domain name service. So if you reboot, it fixes that issue. So it could do that as well. Rare cases, the network card is dead. Your NIC card is dead on that computer, and it just doesn't work. So you might have to change the NIC card. Most people will reboot if it doesn't work. If the reboot doesn't work, then there's something physically wrong with the computer. It just doesn't grab an IP. Then worst case scenario, just give them another computer. But that shouldn't happen. If it does happen in your work environment, then you physically should physically check your hardware or Active Directory, because it should grab a new fresh IP address. If you release and renew, you shouldn't have to reboot. Like, reboot is like the last resort. Getting someone a new computer is a last resort too. Unless it's like something physically wrong with the computer, then you would give them a new computer. You shouldn't have to do that. So this one is obviously common as well in IT support. I need access to a network drive. So depending on the IT environment, you get approval first. If it's like an SMD and he does give the approval for everything, then you give him access immediately. You don't, we have to wait it out. We have compliance and we have all these other things, and you have to get approval. You don't just do it. You get in trouble by your manager. You just don't do it. You have to get approval for everything, and it has to be written like an email approval. It's not like you do it and then you expect it to work. You don't do that. You have to get approval for everything. Depending on your environment, obviously you get approval for these things. So, what you would want, what I would do, or what I do, I'm like, okay, so you want what drive do you want? You want the S drive, the T drive, whatever. You could call it whatever letter you want. But I want the S drive. Okay, who has access to the S drive? Jimmy. Jimmy has access to the S drive. Okay, good. Is it the same thing that you need access to? Yes, I need access to the same thing, to all those paths. Yes. Okay. Awesome. I'm going to get approval. Once I get approval, I add him to that distribution group, and he should be good after that. Security group, he should be good after that. Obviously, there are sometimes there are issues where they just want a specific folder only. Then obviously you do special permissions for that, and you create a special security group for that one person, that one user. Then you would just give them access to that one folder. You won't give them access to the whole damn thing. That's just too much permissioning. So too much access. So you don't do that. When you do give someone access to a security group, obviously they have to do a GP update on their computer. So you would go to the command line and GP update /force. So it updates the policy. It grabs a fresh policy that you just pushed in, and it gives them access to that share drive. So, and pretty much that's how you do it. And then they would have to log off and log back in. Oh, I need you to log off, log back in. Oh, I need you to restart your computer. It's the same thing. Just restart the computer, and then they should have access to that S drive or whatever. And that's it. That's pretty much it. That's something you will commonly see in level 1 supports. Give me access to this S drive. Give me access to this T drive. If you want to find out what letters they need, or Jimmy has access to the S drive. what's the path directory? Can I find? Let me talk to Jimmy. You remote it to Jimmy's machine. You type net user, and then when you type net user, it should tell you what drives they have, and what path directories they have. So it's good to check that if you need to know what drives they need and stuff like that. So, all right, this one, printer is not working. If it's a USB printer, shut off the printer, remove the printer. So you go to control panel, devices and printers, right click, remove the device, USB printer, shut off the device, remove the printer, reboot it again, let it reinstall the drivers again of the printer, and then have them do a test page by right clicking on the printer and then hit test page, printer properties test page, or go into a Word document and just print out a test page if it's a USB printer. Network printer, remove the printer, add it again. Printer's still not working. Printer's still not working, go to someone else, check to see if they have the same printer, have them print, it works for them, and it doesn't work for this person, there's something wrong with their computer. Doesn't work. Check the print spooner. So you go to services, and we're gonna open up services. You go to print spooner. You go to stop. You start again. Hit OK. And then that's it. And then that's all you have to do. And then that's it. And try having them print again. If that doesn't work, another thing you want to do is see if this computer has it. It might not have it. System for Windows 7, disable system while 64, kill it, and then reopen it again. Have them print again, and it should fix that issue. If it still doesn't work, then you have to go to the print server and just check to see if maybe a job is hung up, or maybe there's a job that someone tried to print and is messed up and it's not letting them print for some reason. Obviously, that's if nobody could print in that printer, then maybe there's a job stuck somewhere. Have them try to print again. It could be that. It could also be other things like the printer's out of paper. It's just like little silly things, Printer's out of paper, or they need toner in that printer, or there's a paper jam and it gives you that error message. Oh, paper jam. Take the jam out of here before you could print again. Stuff like that. So those are the common issues you would see in IT support level 1. Those are the issues you would see in. Alright, so next one. I can't remote to my work computer. So check to see if the computer is online. In some cases, people leave the office. They go into Citrix, they remote into their PC, and that PC is probably not even on. They probably shut it off by accident, and they think that it's on for some reason. So you might have to go to the 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 floor, whatever, and turn on their computer. That's probably what it is. Some cases, users are not in remote desktop groups, which allows them to remote into their machine. So you could check that by going into computer management, going into local users and groups, going into groups, going into remote management. It says right here, remote desktop user, sorry, wrong one. It says right here, members in this group are granted the right to log in remotely to this desktop. So you add them to this group, search your name, add them, hit OK, and then they should be able to remote in. Voila, magic. It's like, oh, I'm able to log in now. Yay. I'm like, yes, got you. Another one would be the computer is on. The computer is on, but they can't remote in through DNS. So they put the name of the computer, the name of the actual computer, and it doesn't work. And then as a workaround, you could give them the IP address of that computer and have them remote into the computer using the IP instead of the actual name of the computer. Another issue you would have is I want to use my computer as the full screen. So you will go into put the name here, show options. You hit save, go to display, use all monitors, use full screen large, and then hit OK, hit save, and then hit connect. That's like one of the common issues you would see is that. And that's it. And if you could remote into their computer and they can't remote into it, it's because maybe a session is hung on remote desktop. Maybe it doesn't want to pop up. Remote desktop doesn't want to pop up. That's an issue you would see. You have to kill their session in XenApp servers. Maybe their computer is having issues with connectivity, or maybe they have the wrong version of Citrix Receiver, because in certain work environments you need a certain version for it to work. And just remote into the computer using GoToAssist, TeamViewer, whatever you have, and just see what error message they're getting, and then troubleshoot it based on that. And that's it. That's pretty much what you would do. You just see what error messages they're getting. Check their VPN. Maybe they use VPN, and with VPN they remote into their computers. So there's some companies that do that, so you can check that as well. Make sure they're part of the right groups, and then that's about it for this one. So this is phone issues. We're going into phone issues now. So my phone won't turn on, like my Cisco phone, my Avaya phone, my Mitel phone, whatever phone company you have, my phone won't turn on. Check the physical cable. Most companies run voice over IP, so check the physical cable. Maybe he didn't log into the phone. Maybe it's running an update or firmware update that you don't know about. Maybe the port is dead, so maybe where it's plugged into the bottom of the floor, when you plug in out the internet cables, maybe that port is dead, or maybe it's not physically patched, or maybe they just got relocated to another office or another location or another place. Because when you relocate, sometimes these ports, they haven't been tested or they haven't been checked, and that port is probably configured for only internet, but not for VLAN, voice over IP, maybe. So these are things you have to check. Obviously, if you're the IT guy and you're very organized, then you would plug in the phone, you check everything, make sure it's working, make sure they don't have any issues. So then when they come in Monday morning, their phone is logged in, they have no issues with their phone. Some cases the phones will die. If the phone is dead, then the phone is dead. You have to give them a new phone. In some other cases, it's maybe you ran out of IP addresses or something. It could be that too. Maybe that port is just physically bad. Just plug it to another port. It's like port A, port B, port C, port D. Plug it into another port. So these are issues that you would see that are common for this environment. So then this is another common one. Level 1 again. My audio is not working on my computer. Oh no, I can't listen to YouTube videos. I can't watch YouTube videos, or I can't watch this movie. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So yeah, the speakers aren't working. Check. This is the most common one. Check to see what the default sound is on the device. It might be something different. So you right click on the volume settings. If it's a Windows 10, you go to sounds. And then you just see here what are the default settings. If it's the wrong one, then obviously the sound is not going to work. So try different USB port. Maybe the port is bad. Make sure the drivers are downloaded for that. Again, check devices and printers. Maybe that's not. Maybe the drivers just failed to load. Maybe the computer doesn't have the right drivers, or maybe it doesn't have drivers installed for the motherboard to recognize sound. You might have to download the drivers for that specific vendor or specific computer. It could be that as well. And then sometimes these headphones or speakers, they're plug and play, but in some cases they're not. So you might have to go to their official website and download the drivers. So that's pretty much one of the issues, or maybe it's not on. It's like common issues you would see with audio. This one is a little intense, because this is like the bread and butter of people that work in finance companies. That their Outlook's not working, Word is not working, Excel is not working, and it becomes really bad, because they're trying to do numbers, they're trying to do schematics, they're trying to import numbers, they're trying to trying to put investment deals and do all these crazy deals, and their stuff is not working, so they're just extremely frustrated with you. So, and it's not, they understand it's not your fault, but the thing is that it has to work, especially when you're going through these business deals, in that work environment for a hedge fund or a real estate company. You're going through all these crazy deals at these months or this timeline that you have, and these things just don't work. So you have to, you obviously as a person or as a user that's trying to make money to the company, and your stuff doesn't work, you're gonna get frustrated. It just gets really frustrating. So obviously you go to Task Manager, you kill the process. Maybe you don't have enough memory on that computer, or maybe they have multiple applications running. Obviously you would go into Task Manager. You would go to the app and just end task. Windows 7, go to excel.exe, kill it. Word.exe, kill it. Outlook.exe, kill it. See what version of Microsoft they're running. Maybe they have a 32-bit, and they have 12 and more gigabytes of RAM, and since it's 32-bit, it only reads 4 gigs of RAM, versus it being 64-bit, where it reads all the memory on the computer. So you might have to check that too. It's probably nothing wrong with the computer. It's just the version of Microsoft you have installed on the computer. Other cases, it could be a corrupt file on Excel, a corrupt file on Word. See if you could open it up yourself. Other cases would be maybe that file has a macros enabled stuff on it, and maybe your environment blocks macros, or maybe it has to be done a specific way for that file to work, or maybe a column is corrupted on Excel that's causing Excel to crash, or maybe there's a plugin. You know how we have all these add-ins like CapIQ or Bloomberg or Workspaces or what have you. Maybe these plugins are causing it to crash. So maybe open up Word in safe mode. We'll open up Excel in safe mode. Open up Outlook in safe mode. Maybe there's a plugin that's causing it to crash. Worst case scenario, you would run a repair on Microsoft Suite. You shouldn't have to do that, but that's like worst case scenario. Just run a repair on it. Worst case scenario, it will obviously make you reboot. So you have to reboot if you're doing a repair. Every time you do a repair, it always makes you reboot on Microsoft. I don't know why, it just does that. So this is what you would see. You would see crazy things like my Outlook's not connected, because your password hasn't been updated, or my excuse me, I'm starting to send an email and my font is all messed up on Outlook, or for example, like, where's my reading panel at? I don't see the reading panel anymore. Like the preview panel, where is it at? No, it doesn't work. Every time I open Outlook and I do this one task, it crashes my whole Outlook. Every time I try to drag and drop a file and a new email, it crashes my Outlook. Every time I try to attach this file, it crashes my Outlook. And then that's the case where you would see if there's any plugins that are causing problems with the application. So those are really important things to check. Check the plugins. Try to open in safe mode. Don't do a repair as like the last resort. Don't do a repair. Check to see what they're trying to do. Check to see if other people are having that same issue. Because if everyone else is having that same issue, and obviously it's a plugin that's affecting everybody. So just check all those things before you run a repair. And make sure they have enough memory for because Excel with Bloomberg takes up a lot of resources. So just make sure there's enough memory for these things. And make sure they have the right version. 64 bits, it has to be 60. If it's 32-bit, it's not. It'll keep crashing over and over again. If they have like 32 gigs of RAM, obviously, and you have a 32-bit Microsoft Suite, it's not going to see all the resources, so it's going to keep crashing. So just put them in the right version and make sure they're in the right version, and then that would be like a stress reliever. I had this one issue with a guy that everyone in his department opened this Excel file on a share drive, and it never crashed for anyone, but it always crashes for him. So I'm like, you know what? Let me check your profile. Let me check your account. Let me see. And this is what it is. You have a 32-bit. You have a 32-bit Excel. That's why. All right. So when can I install 64-bit? Oh, you going to lunch? What time are you going to lunch? 12? Oh, okay. So I'm gonna take a snapshot of all the plugins you use for Excel, and I'm gonna save it somewhere. And I'm going to, because sometimes these plugins are incompatible, and you might have to uninstall those plugins and reinstall the 64-bit version of it. So you're going to lunch at 12? Okay, so I'm gonna take a screenshot of all your plugins that are installed, and I am going to install 64-bit. So I have to. So if you know, obviously you can't just install Excel. It's a whole Microsoft suite. So stop recording. I had to make a second part of this. Yeah, so I had to remove everything. And finally I got it to go in there, and I finally got it to work for him, and he was able to open that Excel file. So yeah, these are the issues you would have. Let's go to the next one. So more Outlook issues. So Outlook issues with end users. Search functionality is not working. You go to services. It should be called Windows Search. So Windows Search, you stop it, and then you run it again. It should fix it. Control panel. Index options. Go to index. Advance, rebuild and delete index. That would fix the issue too. Outlook not opening Excel files. Maybe change the default files to Excel. I don't. Some silly things like, oh, I need to make an out of office reply. You know how to do that. Maybe passwords expire. Change the. I fell spelling right there. I forgot to put a G in there, but. Change view settings, create a rule for Outlook, add calendars, inbox, and contacts. Maybe they want access to a specific calendar or a specific contact. You go into the calendar, you right-click on the calendar, hit properties, go to the security groups, give them editor rights, full rights, read rights only, whatever access they need, get approval for it. Meetings not updating, maybe for meetings not updating, maybe they need to resync their profile. Maybe you have to recreate their profile. Or if they have a share calendar, maybe you have to delete the share calendar, reopen it again. Calendar not updating on their phone. If it's an iPhone, you go to settings, you go to accounts and passwords, you go to the email account, you go to calendar, you untick calendar, retick it again, delete from phone, yes, delete from phone, tick it again, and that's it, and it should fix that issue. That's for an iPhone. Same with an Android device. Untick it, retick it. You should fix it. So, computer is slow. When was the last time you restarted your computer? How much memory does it have? Obviously, you don't ask them that. You check that. How much memory they have. Maybe the hard drive is bad. Give them an SSD. Scan for viruses. Run the latest Windows updates. Defrag the hard drive. Remove error settings, set performance to max. Maybe that'll fix it. It changes the background. It changes everything. So for that, you would go to your properties on the computer, advanced system, performance, and adjust for best performance. It would delete all of this, and then you hit OK and hit apply. Change, upgrade the user's machine. Obviously, you schedule a time to rebuild their machine. You schedule a time to change their machine. Oh, you want on lunch right now? I'm going to do it for you right now. After lunch, I'll back up everything. If you have to back anything up, back everything up. Switch the computer, have them log in, have them test everything. Keep the old computer for about a week and a half. They're good to go. Rebuild that other computer, change the hard drive, and re-image it. And that's pretty much it for that. Common Adobe Acrobat issues. Run a repair on, Adobe Acrobat. Can open PDF files. Change the default to open to PDF. I keep telling you changing default profiles, default applications. So you just type default applications, default programs. Set your default programs. So this is for that. Choose default programs by file type. On Windows 10, you would do this. So it would be PDF files. Obviously, you would go to PDF and change it to whatever you need to change it to. HTML would be Chrome. If it's Excel, XML files, it would be Excel, etc., etc. So you would do that there. User can print from PDF. Map the printer again, maybe. Users Adobe won't open, run a repair, reinstall, and then that's it. Those are the common issues of Adobe. And Adobe is really important for a lot of people because they sign stuff, they grab pictures and videos and stuff. They put stuff in Adobe, like Adobe Premiere and Adobe CC, and all this crazy stuff that they do with Creative Cloud. So obviously these things you run a repair, reinstall them. Maybe there's something wrong with their profile account and a couple stuff like that. Those are common issues you would see. So, add-ins not working. Remove the add-in, re-add it again. Remove it in the control panel. So if it's an add-in, just uninstall it, reinstall it. Run a repair on the add-in. Make sure the add-in is able to open. Maybe the computer is corrupted. Maybe if I log in and the add-in works for me and it doesn't, maybe his user profile, maybe his account is corrupt. Then we have to delete his profile. Make sure it's not disabled. Maybe the add-in is disabled. So let me go into Word and show you what I'm talking about. You're probably like, what is he talking about? So you go to File. I'm gonna go into Options, Add-ins. See disable items, maybe it's disabled somewhere. Check comms add-ins, maybe it's not check mark, maybe it's not there. Word add-ins, maybe it's not there. For Excel, it's the same thing. Excel, maybe comms add-ins, maybe it's disabled or something. So delete the user's profile. Maybe that computer's corrupted the user's profile. If that's the case, just give them a new computer. Don't delete the whole profile. That's crazy. Just give them a new computer. Yeah. So then those are the common issues you would see with add-ins. Website can't run because it requires Java. Use IE. It requires Adobe Flash. Use Chrome. Chrome has Flash by default, but Chrome changed the rules recently on Chrome Adobe Flash. So as of 2020, Flash will no longer work. They changed the rules on this. So if you wanna enable Flash, you click the little lock, you click allow, and then it's gonna make you reload it, and you reload it. If you need to add other stuff to it, you hit site settings, and then you add it right here. So that's pretty much what it is. And then, Java's not working, just reinstall Java, or maybe you need to make an exception or something like that. Alright, my emails, and I just went over this. My emails are not working on my phone. Update your password. Maybe passwords expire. Check on AD to see if they're locked out. Are they connected to Wi-Fi? Maybe they're connected to Wi-Fi and it doesn't work. Maybe take them off of Wi-Fi and then have them update the password. Remove the email account completely and re-add it again. Restart the device. You should fix the issues. Those are issues this is the last one, I believe. Those are issues you would have. Monitor not working. Tell the user to press the power button. Is the computer on? Maybe the computer is not on. Check the physical cable. Maybe the cable is not good. Check the cable. There's a DVI, VGA, display cable that's plugged into the back of the computer. Plug it into another port. If that doesn't work, check the cable on the monitor. Maybe the monitor, the plug of the monitor is maybe it's bad. Maybe the monitor is bad itself. You don't know. It could be in some cases the graphics card is corrupted. Maybe it doesn't work. Download the latest drivers. Maybe the cable got kicked out by accident. That's a common issues you see. Maybe the computer's not on. Display's not working, computer's not on. You know, obviously they both have to be on. So those are the common things you would see on a monitor. And then that's it. That's pretty much it. So if you like this video, rate, comment, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you don't like it, obviously give me a thumbs down. I'm gonna be making videos now. I'm back to my regular schedule. I've been really busy. I'm sorry about not making videos. My next video will be on Bloomberg and Bloomberg technology. So Bloomberg is a financial application that everyone uses in the finance industry, hedge funds. So I'm going to go over that. I'm just going to go over how to troubleshoot that for people that are trying to use Bloomberg Terminal. So that will be my next video. I hope everyone has a great day. Happy Sunday, and enjoy the rest of your day. And thanks for watching. Take care.